Are you feeling like a zombie lately? Tired of the same old energy drinks promising the world but delivering the jitters and a crash? Look no further than Sneak Energy, your secret weapon for all your energy needs. With all natural ingredients, Sneak will give you all the energy you need to boost through your day without feeling like a lab rat on caffeine. Don't believe us? Try it yourself and see what a difference it can make to your routine. So what are you waiting for? Hit the link in the description and pick up your Sneak Starter Pack today. Now enjoy the clip. It's good and bad, I suppose. There's some good news potentially around the pursuit of Kim Min-jae, but then there is this usual sort of uncertainty news around a transfer window that many other clubs are actively approaching players in, but Man United are on lockdown. Manchester United are on handbrake mode. They cannot move forward, and there is even strong rumours that sell to buy is the way forward. It really does make you want to throw up, doesn't it, this Friday morning, to think about the progress that's been made by Erik ten Hag and Manchester United this season, only to work your arse off, play loads and loads of games, battle against the odds, use Wout Weghorst as your striker. You get to the end of the season, and you're told you've got to sell to buy, and actually we can't really do anything at the moment. Whilst everybody else, it's like the big sales going on, isn't it? And you're being held back. You're not going in and just watching everybody run in and get all the good deals. It's disappointing. And look, this comes from a quote from David Ornstein, who's a good journalist. He said, look, United, to my knowledge, are not able to move on much at all at the moment in relation to transfers. So they're not able to move on much at all, which means they're not able to really do anything around transfers at the moment. You speak to people around the club and there seems to be a clear sense that they might have to sell before they can buy. And that's, I mean, that's really concerning. And look, nobody's going to say, well, you know what, it's the end of the world or it's necessarily true, but it's numerous journalists, it's numerous sources, it's numerous people coming out and saying these things, that United can't move on transfers at the moment, and other clubs are moving on transfers at the moment, and Manchester United might have to sell to buy to bring players in. And you know what, I look forward to the game tomorrow. I look forward to Manchester United hopefully getting Champions League football. I look forward to that FA Cup final, even though it's going to be difficult. But God, answers on a postcard for what's going to happen over the summer for Manchester United. It makes no sense. Twat. It makes no sense. Don't worry, me and the drawer have fell out already. Yeah, it makes no sense as to how we're meant to progress as a football club when we're basically in handbrake mode. We're basically on lockdown, and you know, you can hear stories about United's transfer budget's only 100 million, and you can hear stories about United have got to sell to buy, and you can dismiss it. You really can. But when it's coming in on the regular, then I think it's quite disappointing. We should be looking to get Gundogan, says Velben. Okay, thank you for the super chat. I'm going to move on straight away. I really can't be bothered to focus on nonsense, mate. It's nonsense. We're not getting Gundogan. Shatish says, Glazers want to destroy our next season before they close the deal. It's a revenge against the fans. Rich Americans will destroy what they can have, says Shatish. That's better. We want more like that. Thank you. And look, I think there are different levels of fans in relation to their knowledge base. And the reality is that we probably do have to sell to buy. We probably are on lockdown, and we probably don't have much negotiations going on at the moment. And people will say, well, no, what's the point in selling the club then? What's the point in selling the club? And I think that, to me, that really is irrelevant, because when you hear what David Ornstein's saying and other people are saying, and when you hear what's out there, the whole point of sell to buy, the whole point of a limited budget is because of who is in charge at the moment. You know, you might be going to be a millionaire next week, but you might have no money now. Well, that's what Man United are like. Maybe we will be multi-billionaire owned in a couple of weeks' time, if we're lucky. But the reality is we're not now, and you can only deal with what you are now. You might be getting you might have ordered a lovely pair of trainers to come next week, but this week you're running around in bare feet, and that's United at the moment. We can't go to Alexi McAllister's agent or Osman's agent and said, you know, this time next week we'll be billionaires. They'll go, yeah, but PSG already are, and Liverpool already have the money, so you're turning up to a meeting with no shoes on. So look, that's where we're at the moment. A few people getting excited that Phil Jones has left officially. I mean, honestly, what do you want me to say? That I have mixed emotions about this. I just have mixed emotions about it. The guys earn nearly 100 grand a week for how many years doing next to nothing. I feel sorry for him as a human. On a human level, I feel sorry for him because he's had a lot of injury, but I know a couple of lads who could have been fantastic footballers who got bad injuries in their teens and never played football at all. If Phil Jones is looking for a bit of sympathy, you can have a little bit, but you've earned a hell of a lot of money, mate. A hell of a lot more than a lot of people earn in their career, and you'll probably walk into the BT studio within a couple of weeks. It's. I feel sympathetic that he's had a lot of injuries in his life, but he's earned a hell of a lot of money out of this club that he never should have earned, and that's not his fault, by the way. That's the club's fault. Ed Woodward's a complete and utter whatever you want to call him for giving that contract, but he stole a living. He stole a living at Manchester United, and it's ridiculous what we've paid him over the last 3 or 4 years. Well, you could say over the last decade, but I mean, I don't think there'll be a player in football. Even Ronaldo's Saudi Arabia contract probably doesn't work out at what Phil Jones got paid a game for Manchester United. It was ridiculous. So, look, I'm glad he's gone. And no doubt we'll see him on our telly talking crap very, very soon. I know that sounds really cynical, but I just feel like this is part of the problem why Man United have got no money to spend. Under the Glazer regime, we've just thrown money all over the place, and this is why financial fair play is restricting us, and this is why we don't have much money, because we wasted all the bloody time on prats who don't know what they're doing. One of the greatest football clubs in the world. It pisses me off. And this is what's happening at the moment with the ownership. It's like, what are we doing? The transfer window is the most important time of any season when you're looking to be building progress next season, and we're sat there on lockdown. This means Erik ten Hag can get rid of the crap in the squad. This also means that the squad players he doesn't want to sell will be cheaper. I don't know what you're talking about, Jude. You're turning a really silly situation into a fantasy. What are you talking about? Sell to buy? When have we ever been good at selling? Sell to buy. If we've got to sell to buy, we're in a right state. Because that means we've got hardly any money, and that means that you're relying on Murta and Arnold to actually sell players, which they won't have a bloody clue how to do it. People keep throwing these lists like Brandon Williams, Dean Henderson, Harry Maguire, Scott McTominay. You realise how hard those 4 players are going to be to sell? What if none of them don't want to go? They're all on ridiculous wages. Brandon Williams is meant to be on 50 grand a week. He shouldn't be on 10. Maguire's on 200 grand a week. Dean Henderson's on 130 grand a week. You can't just get rid of those players. I mean, anybody with a brain is going to go, I'm not paying that wage and giving you a salary. So people are going, oh, let's just sell them and buy players. It's not going to be easy to do it. It really won't be easy to do it. And Trevor says we sold Dan James. I mean, Dan James is probably the best deal we've done in a decade. Progress only happens once we get rid of the snakes, says John. I agree. I think we've got to. That's what we've got to look to do. We've got to look to get rid of the Glazers. But how long are they going to take to do it? I think if you start from a default position of we're going to be in for a very tough summer, then next season is. I can see a scenario where at the start of next season, probably the same predictions again. Some people will say we're going to be in a title race. Some people will say we're going to be in a top 4 race, and a lot of realists might say, if we get top 4 in a trophy again, it might be a good thing. Jobs for the boys, says Times End. I don't know what that's all about. Huge contracts means only good teams can afford them. They are too crap to play for good teams. I think, can I just applaud that from Zane? That is absolutely brilliant. In fact, Zane, back of the net. That is an absolute banger of a comment. It is so true. We pay wages of superstars. Therefore, if you want to sell them, only big clubs can buy them. But they're not superstars, and we want to get rid of them because they're not superstars. So you cannot sell Harry Maguire on 200 grand a week. You cannot sell Brandon Williams on 50 grand a week. You cannot sell Dean Henderson on 130 grand a week easily. It's going to take hard work. Every one of those deals, they're not quick deals. If you're Chelsea, like they they did a load of deals, didn't they, really quickly one summer, and they'll probably do it again this year. But we're not selling quality. We're selling, bench players that are overpaid. It's going to be very difficult for Manchester United this summer. This is one of the reasons I wanted the full sale, Glazers out, and super wealth, because if I'm super wealthy and I walk into the club, I say to Eric, don't worry, who do you want to get rid of? Well, I want to get rid of Maguire and who else? Okay, I'll get rid of them. Oh, how are you going to do that? No one's going to give him 200 grand a week, mate. I'll just get rid of him. Who wants Harry Maguire? Everton ring up. We want him, but we're not going to give you 40 million and 200 grand a week. Okay, give me 20 million and you pay his wages. Done. Bye. Good. See you later. Off you go. That's what you do. You write them off. You write the assets off. It's what good business people do when they take over bad businesses. You write off the shit and start again. And